to reel yourself back, right? And to turn it off. You're always on when you are trying to reach or striving for a certain level of success. Okay. How many can attest to that? Right. So the first few years of business, I did buy into, admittedly, hustle culture. Okay. I kind of roll my eyes at that now because, honey, that's not me now. I'm going to get into that shortly. But I did. I bought into hustle culture because I didn't know any better. And quite frankly, I didn't know anything else. And you know what? Hustling for me at that time was what I knew best. I always prided myself on being resourceful, and I'm a hustler, honey. I will get what I need. I will make it happen. Okay? And that's true for many of us. Again, it's a cultural thing, right? I got this. I'm gonna make it happen. I don't know how necessarily, but it's gonna happen. Even if I damn near kill myself to make it happen, it's gonna happen. And so I never knew an easier way. I knew there had to be an easier way that existed. I just didn't know what that was. So I had to go with what was familiar territory for me. And many of you are going through that right now, right? So not only did I listen to or buy into hustle culture, but I also listened to those very horrible, I think they call them bruh messages, horrible in this male dominated industry of some of our most successful male leaders. It's sad to say they were the main ones, if not the main ones, and then those of us women bought into it, those of us who did, that were saying things like, go home or go hard, sleep when you're dead. If you don't die trying, then you don't deserve to be successful. You don't want it bad enough. You gotta want it bad enough like how you breathe. I mean, I ain't naming no names, but we know we've all heard those messages repeatedly, right? Especially almost a decade ago. That was like what it was. That's what this industry was about. That's how you was going to be. In my mind, I'm like, well, shoot, they're successful. Look how uber successful they are. There must be some truth to that. There must be. So I'm going to say it too. I'm going to buy into it too. I'm going to believe that too. That's going to be my philosophy too. That was the wrong Me Too movement. I shouldn't have been a part of that movement, right? Because all along, I was really and truly feeling like it was misaligned with my feminine energy. And it was misaligned with my core values. Yet, I was one out there not only believing in it, but repeating it out loud for others who followed me in my audience to hear, those I work with to hear, those terrible, awful messages. And it's not aligned with your feminine energy, right? Or your core values. So then why are we buying into it? Just why? And so as a result, you know what? Not surprisingly, right? It took an effect or a toll on my health, on my relationships, on my marriage, on my happiness. My internal peace was disturbed. A lot was going on. So, that didn't work out well for me. I'm willing to bet it's not working out well for you. And so the consequences simply are not worth it, right? Not worth it at all. So my message has been for some years now, because I would say that was probably the first 2 to 3 years of my business that I bought into hustle culture. After that, I'm checked out. I unsubscribe. I am totally, completely unsubscribed. And I invite you to do the same. Unsubscribe from hustle culture because it is figuratively and literally killing us. So that sounds easy, Katrina. Okay, great, Coach Katrina. All right. You made that feel all dramatic. You're saying we need to check out and not do all the things and wear all the hats and just unsubscribe. How? because it sounds easier said than done, because I'm in it, right? Many of you are in it right now. And it does feel hard when you're in it and this all you know, and as you're like wrapped up in it, you understand? Nice and tight. But there's always a way out. Always. And I'm going to give you the secrets. That really ain't a secret at all. But it is an escape plan. It is your exit door. You can exit right now, today, and all you have to do is make a decision. All you have to do is make a decision today, right now, in this moment. That it doesn't feel good to your soul. It's not something that you want or need in your life. It certainly isn't beneficial to you or those around you. So why have anything in your life that no longer serves you, that is toxic to you, that is building up toxins within you, putting you in the hospital and taking you to the doctors more frequently than not? Why are we doing that to ourselves? So the answer is prioritizing well-being. Simple. Easy? Yeah, I would say so. It's simple and it's easy. It's a simple solution and it's easy to incorporate. And I'm going to tell you how. But first, I want to share with you, I don't know the exact statistics, but I will definitely get the stats and post them up because that's important to know. I don't know what it is currently. I don't want to give you anything outdated. But what I can tell you is that studies show that when women don't prioritize their physical and mental well-being over the relentless work they're doing, those very women are more than likely, highly likely, to be hospitalized, to suffer from anxiety and depression and other disorders that might develop out of that, like it did for me, especially depending on how long you've been going this route, you know, and it has a negative impact on your life overall, right? Your relationships, your goals, your happiness, your peace, all of that. Makes you crazy. It makes you feel insane. So the question now is that I have for you, how do you achieve life work harmony as opposed to work life balance? That's a real question. Do you know how? I'm going to say that again because I don't want you to miss that. I'm emphasizing life first because work fits within our lives, right? Not the other way around. Again, that was one mistake, one big, big mistake I made. Hindsight is 2020, as they say. Had I been able to do it all over again, if I could, I absolutely would. I don't have regrets, right? But it is a hard lesson learned, a valuable one. I would never repeat that mistake. And I don't want you to continue on this path if it is hurting you as well. It does some severe damage to every aspect of our lives, whether or not we want to admit it. At least admit it to yourself. At least. Because we can't fix problems that we don't even care to admit exists, right? So I personally believe that in order to have life work harmony over work life balance is, and this has been the best way I've come up with because I practice this myself and I teach this to my clients as well, is to learn the concept of synergistic blending or integration. Okay, I'm going to break that down. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, in your personal and professional life, you've got to do the things anyway, whatever all the things are. Why not integrate or blend them as opposed to weigh them out to balance them? Because here's the thing, the term balance suggests that you are always putting your two or multiple in this case, right? All the things that we have going on in our lives, we have two sides on a balance beam, right? Or on a balance scale. And we're always we have two competing sides, always trying to evenly distribute the weight. Don't put too much on this because if we put too much over here, then this goes up this too. Let's try to weigh that out. You understand? So we're constantly doing this number here, trying to get it even, but it's hard to master because we know in real life, realistically speaking, there's just no way that it's always going to be even. Everything you have on your plate you're going to have to give your time and attention and your energy to one thing more than the other, depending on where you are in the season of your life, right? Where you are right now in this season may there may be a particular area in your life that deserves more attention. Maybe right now that's your relationship. So you're not going to be able to give as much to your business or your career or whatever, right? Maybe it's your children, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's work, maybe it is business, whatever, but it's never going to be equally balanced is what I'm saying, right? So when you blend or integrate, that suggests an overlap in your home and family life, in your career and business life, in your health and well-being, right? And in your communities. Blending over balancing. So I said, I'm going to give you some real examples in real time so you can take this information and do something with it. This is your time. You should be writing this down already, but here are some examples, okay? And this is what I'm going by, something that I actually do every day. This is not made up. It's not hypothetical. It's not just, this is something you can do. If you would like to incorporate this in your life, it works for me, okay? I'm sure will work for you. But an example might be incorporating me time into a quiet part of my day. For me, I've always been a very early bird, an early riser, super early. Okay, I don't want to scare you. How early? 3:33 a.m. Okay, just act like you didn't hear that. But yes, I love getting up early before life really starts, right? And what I mean by that is that, before the day gets moving, before people are moving and going and talking and cars and, traffic and noise and, I get up before the earliest of the early birds. You know what I mean? Like, I love my quiet time before everybody's awake and active and doing their thing, when it's just still and dark and quiet. And I just have time to myself to do whatever I want. I take the first 3 hours of the day for me. Okay. Quiet time, no distractions, no disturbances. I'm not checking no emails first thing in the morning. I'm not looking at no social media. I could care less. I'm not checking no news and no weather and no stocks and none of that. None of that, because it doesn't matter. You understand? And so that's one way. And then another way might be while you're driving to a meeting, listen to an audiobook, right? While you're taking a walk around your neighborhood, a walk at the park, or walk around the lake, wherever it is you walk, in the gym, on the treadmill, listen to a podcast. While you're cooking dinner, strike up a conversation, include your family, bring them over, have them be a part, make it a family fun night. Or you do the cooking, whatever, and help your kid with their homework, or talk to your child about whatever they're going through if it's an adult child instead of somebody who's a school-age kid or whatever. Right? That might be a good time to place a phone call to a good friend, or, if you're doing chores around the house, maybe contact a friend or a family member and catch up. Talk to a colleague or a business partner about business matters, because you got to do the thing anyway, right? Why not blend them? That's how you get more in. That's how I get more in a day without feeling neglected. You see, all of those things are important. And it certainly feels better to blend and integrate those things and incorporate all of that into my life the way that I'm doing it now. as opposed to always trying to balance it. I mean, that was really my biggest struggle. Oh my God, in my relationship for sure, my biggest struggle in my marriage. I tried. I really put forth my best effort to make sense of it all and to find a way to balance. And I was like, why can't I balance this out? Like, why, one minute I'm doing great over here and over here and over here, but I was neglecting this and over here and this and over here. And then, oh, okay, I'm giving this attention. I'm giving her attention. I'm giving this attention. I'm giving that attention. Oh my God, but I forgot to give that attention. I forgot to give me attention. You know, it's crazy. It's not realistic in my opinion. It's not real in my experience. And so I don't suggest it. That's not how I teach. As a part of my holistic methodology, teaching methodology, I teach you to blend and overbalance all day, every day. So those are just some a very few ways that you can incorporate that, but that gives you some idea. It's a good solid starting place, right? And you can take that with you and build upon it now, because now you have the idea. So you understand the concept, right? So let's talk about effective strategies for achieving harmony. How do we do it, right? What are the effective strategies exactly? Well, setting sustainable boundaries for one. I would say that's probably number one. And there are so many types of boundaries, right? We have emotional boundaries, we have physical boundaries, we have time boundaries, we have lots of different types of boundaries. That's for you to decide what boundaries you need to tackle first, right? But those are three. Go ahead and think about what other types of boundaries there are that you need to set, and let's go ahead and talk about setting them. Because when you establish boundaries, it has a positive impact on each part of your life. Seriously, like it improves your home life, it improves your relationships, right? It reduces stress levels big time. It stabilizes your mood. It boosts morale. It does a lot for you. It definitely allows you to hold on to that internal peace. It allows you to sleep well. Those are all important, critical to our success, right? And so when you are managing your time and your energy, what I found to be the best strategies for that really is, I would say, to manage time effectively without burnout and to manage your energy effectively without burnout, automating and delegating is key. And by automation and delegation, I mean in both your personal and your professional life, personal and professional life, right? So for me, and possible for you, that would look like, instead of me taking time out of my day to go grocery shopping, I'll just use a grocery shopping service and have them deliver what I need, right? I know what I need. I can shop online, plug that in, pay, tip the person and let them do the shopping for me and deliver my groceries to my front door. That saved me a lot of time. If you can't afford to hire someone to come and cook for you, which I mean, I'm not even at that level, but I know some colleagues that I do have do that because they are at that level. But if you don't have like a personal chef, do the next best thing, like me, meal prep. The least expensive way, if expense is an issue and you're trying to cut back, is do it yourself. Meal prep this is what I always do. So I do a combination of meal prepping myself, right? A DIY approach. And I also use a meal prep service. So I get certain foods delivered here every single week, like clockwork. And I also take those groceries that I had delivered and I wash and cut up all of my fruits and vegetables. I organize. I mean, I am super organized, okay? Like OCD for real, seriously, like really diagnosed with OCD. So this plays into that. Very, very, very well organized when it comes to, where everything has a place in my house, including the fridge. Okay. So everything's well organized, color schemes, certain Tupperware go on certain shelves and certain vegetables and fruits and whatever the foods are go in a certain place, okay? So I can easily access it, and I'm shifting things around according to how it's going to be cooked or how I'm going to cook it. And then I cook for, the week or a couple of days or whatever, but I meal prep like on a Sunday. It's just something to do, or when the groceries are delivered on a Friday or whatever, and I get everything prepared and it's done. It's there. It's ready to go. Right when I need it, I just grab and go. And that's so helpful. It saves so much time. So yes, you have to spend time up front, but it saves you time on the back end. You just got to take the time to do it or pay somebody to do it for you. It's either going to take anything we do in life, really, it's either going to take time, money, energy, right? So I do a little bit of both. I want to save some time. I also want to save some money. So I don't have a personal chef here, but I cook myself. I love it. I love to cook. That's like one of the number one things I love doing. So that's very therapeutic for me. And I love people eating my good cooking. So, it's just a whole thing. If this food is for the soul. So I do that, but I prepare most of the meals myself and all the things, right? So I stayed on that for a minute, but just trying to really give you some real practical solutions, if you hadn't thought about this. Meal prep service, grocery shopping, handyman. Listen, I am not the one. Okay. I have never been the one. Tawana was always that for us. Okay. Now that it's just me, honey, please task rabbit. Right. And actually, I have a hired handyman, somebody that was referred to me from one of my hairstylists. And so this man does it all. He calls himself the can do it, the can do it man or something like that. Like he does all the things, right? Let him do all the things. I'm good with that. So, but you can use a service like TaskRabbit. You can go on Thumbtack and find you somebody who can help you around the house to just do those little tasky things that you may not be good at, or you know it's not something you want to do, you have the time to do, or whatever. And then you can also hire a housekeeper. Even and by housekeeper, I don't mean you have to have somebody come and clean your house once or twice, or even every week. As far as the whole house, I know that can be expensive depending. But you have to think about what it's costing you, right? So when I think about expenses, I say, well, is this really an expense or an investment? For me, all the things that I'm naming right now is really not an expense. I see it as an investment. Because if I don't hire somebody else to do it and pay them to do it, I have to do it. And that's going to cost me my time. It's going to cost me my energy. It's going to cost me my sleep, maybe. It's going to cost me you know what I'm saying? So I'd rather pay somebody to do it. So I would say make the investment into a handyman and a housekeeper who can come in maybe once a month, twice a month to just deep clean your floors, wash the windows, the baseboards, the things that maybe you don't want to do anymore, that don't have the time to do or whatever, and, pay them to do it, to dust, and then the like kind of day-to-day maintenance of it all, like as far as what do you got to do day to day in your household, then do that yourself or not, So those are a few things I do to oh, and then of course, business wise, especially while you're working a 9 to 5, make sure that you're outsourcing any time consuming, tedious tasks that's keeping you busy, bogged down, and burnt out. Hire, hire help, okay? Hire a team or outsource the work to the people who actually have the talent and the tech and the time to do it. Okay? Let them do it. That's a great investment. So these are the things that I've done. I put systems to work for me. I add structure in my business. I outsource work. I hire personally and professionally. I hire a team, have a team that I've hired. And even if it's just one person, an assistant who can do all the running around for you, or a VA who can actually do all the techie stuff for you, in the background while you're at the forefront in the face of your brand and business. But these are the things that help to preserve your energy, protect your peace, and manage your time. Okay. And then, of course, there are mindfulness practices, self-care practices that I incorporate in my life, and I'll share here with you. And that is that, first of all, let's talk about how important it is, okay? Because it is so important. Did I pronounce every syllable? So important, okay? To schedule downtime in your day. Seriously. If you're not already doing this, it is an absolute must. It is not a maybe. It is not, I'll try. It is not, okay, let me see if I have the time. Girl, listen to me. Don't make me come through the screen. Okay. I said what I said, and I mean it. I'm talking to you right now like your new biz bestie, because I am. I'm talking to you like a friend. I'm talking to you more so like a friend and a biz bestie than I am a coach right now. But as your coach, your new favorite coach, I might add, I'm saying to you, you've got to do this for yourself. Okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Throughout the day, starting at the top of the morning, your morning exercise routine, something, some get in touch with your physical side of things, whatever it is you like to do for fun, so it doesn't feel like a chore. Because I know exercising every day can, but you got to have some form of movement, right? Midday walks, taking a nap, taking a mindful moment, right? Taking a mental moment or a mindful minute, watching something fun or funny on YouTube. I don't watch TV, but if you do, do it. Put in a good movie, listen to a good audiobook, read a good book, listen to a podcast, do something that stimulates your brain. Enjoy a conversation with somebody that has nothing to do with business. Tune out for a minute, unplug. Get from behind your computer screens. Go out and feel the rays of the sun. Get some vitamin D, right? Do something that expresses yourself. Do something new. Go a new route. Travel a new way. Go get a new thing. Have a healthy snack, right? Smell the fresh air. Do something for yourself every single day for self-care. That's just a few. I can go on and on and on. If you're at work, same thing. You know what I used to do when I was working actual in a physical building in my corporate career is I would take the long route. Like instead of calling somebody up to ask a question, I could have just called them on the phone or send them an email or whatever. I'm getting up. I'm going to walk all the way to their office, right? Even if I called them and gave them a heads up, hey, I'm on my way. I'm going to come down and see you. I have a question. Sure, I could have asked it right then and there, but I'm going to take a walk. Instead of taking the elevator, I always took the stairs. Okay. So, I mean, there are just ways to get it in, right? Instead of eating in the typical lunchroom or break room or your office while you're working, I know all about it because you got a deadline to meet. You got to hurry up and get that deadline met. You got to do the thing. So I got to hurry up and get it. So I'm just going to throw some couple nuts and an apple, whatever in my mouth, maybe slam a sandwich down my throat, shove a sandwich down your throat. Don't do that. Literally remove yourself. Go to your car. Go out if you have a patio outside somewhere, a nice bench, something, like there's just so many ways. You have to do that for yourself at least a couple times throughout the day. I would say go for three times for sure. Okay. So how is this feeling? How does this sound to you? Does this sound realistic? Does it feel realistic? Do you feel like this is practical for you, to take this and actually start implementing this right now? Are you a hustler? Do you wear that hard worker, hustler title like a badge of honor? Are you unsubscribed as well? Did I change your mind at this time in this live stream about no longer being a part of hustle culture? If you were on the fence, what do you feel like now? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Type it in the comments for me right now. Okay. I need to know. And go do this homework. Okay. I'm not letting you off the hook. This wasn't just for you to tune in and listen. Oh no, you thought that? Oh no. We're going to go do some homework. Okay. This is your homework. I want you to incorporate these things in your life, and then I want you to come back to this very live stream and put in the comments exactly what you did. What did you take away from this live today. I'm going to tune out while you tune in as always. And until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with